The feds put a stop to plans to transfer coronavirus patients to a facility less than 100 miles from Atlanta. That decision comes after the city of Anniston, Alabama, and state lawmakers there fought back on Saturday. The Department of Health and Human Services announced it was planning to send people with the virus there, but city and state leaders said no, not so fast. We weren't notified ahead of time. Shanu Hurd joins us now to explain what happened.
Yeah, Faith, these Americans are people who were infected with the virus while on the Diamond Princess cruise ship. Health and Human Services had a plan to send those patients to the FEMA Center for Disaster Preparedness. But when that plan was announced, some residents and leaders went all the way to the president for answers. The Health and Human Services announcement caused a stir in Anniston, Alabama, a city just about 100 miles west of Atlanta. The FEMA Center for Disaster Preparedness was the next stop for Americans who caught the coronavirus while on the Diamond Princess cruise ship in Japan. The Anniston City Council called an emergency meeting Sunday morning to pass a resolution allowing the city attorney to explore legal options. The council said they just heard about the announcement late Saturday night. Some council members were worried about the possibility.
My primary concern is the health of this community.
While others say this is why that facility exists, and the city knew that when they requested to have the building in Anniston.
We benefit from this, but with the benefit comes a price.
Governor Kay Ivey said in a statement she talked to HHS officials as well as the White House, and it was determined Anniston was, quote, only being considered as a backup plan in case they run out of alternative locations. Representative Mike Rogers tweeted saying he talked to President Trump, who canceled the HHS plan. U.S. Senator Richard Shelby tweeted that he also talked to the president and thanked him for helping protect Alabamians. Now, the city of Anniston confirms there are no infected people in the city. They're in containment centers in Texas and California. Now, tomorrow, city and county officials will hold a press conference with more information.
All right, so all of this began when a California town also said it didn't want the feds to bring coronavirus patients to a facility there. Between 30 to 70 people who tested positive for the coronavirus were scheduled to be transferred to Fairview Developmental Center tomorrow. Well, the center is in Orange County, California, and city officials there say they found out about the federal government's plans Thursday evening and immediately took action to stop it. On Friday, a judge granted the city a temporary restraining order, which basically stops the feds from bringing those patients in.
Our concerns at this time are the fact that we still have limited information in terms of what actually is going to transpire with the quarantine coming in.
The Health and Human Services Department said Fairview is just one of the possible locations under consideration for this purpose. But other than an Anniston facility in Alabama we just told you about, it's really not clear what other facilities they're considering.